have to hear. Drink a good deal of it, make a good meal of it, stick to your old-fashioned beer. Now don't be afraid of it, drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer.
And a very good evening to you once again, everyone. This is Mark, your one-take beer reviewer, the guy who writes about Chicago's craft beer scene at beeronaut.com. Once again in my basement beer cellar, which is where most of the family was. Well, not in the cellar, but in the basement, because it's like for the second time in 3 evenings we have had to deal with some tornado warnings. Luckily, no tornadoes. But on an unrelated matter, I was going to be going with one of the kids to visit relatives in Pennsylvania. That had to be canceled almost an hour or two before takeoff, but I think we're going to try that again. And yeah, I'm looking at you on the camera behind one of those circle lights again, and if I tilt my glasses just like this, I can I can target you now, Mr. Bond. I do expect you not to talk. I expect you to die. But anyway, we are going to have a look at some cider that has been sent to me by the brewer's rep for my comment. These are the AVAL, I believe I'm pronouncing it right, ciders from the Bretagne region of France, and they have a couple different varieties, a rosé, and over here is a gold, and they're saying that this is the Blanc, which is a new varietal, made mostly from sour apples, which is of course what sour apples are good for, is making cider. So we're going to just kind of turn over here and pour something and enjoy a cider or two, or one. Give everybody a look at what the heck's going on. Very light, almost a clear pour, which I get from a lot of French ciders. Well, not quite clear. I think we're seeing that there is, some yellow apple juice color to it. We find, of course, that this is a fizzy cider, not a still one. And always like to see a little column of bubbles coming up here. Does have a nice tart apple smell, and again, as they will say, no sulfites, and of course no gluten, because there's probably none in the cider making process. But the smell is not you know how some big ciders will kind of just add too much apple smell to it, but this is kind of light and not overdone. Surprisingly, this is kind of sweet. Not again, not overly sweetened, but just again, if there are tart apples in there, and I'm sure there are, it's kind of been mitigated, I think, by fermentation and just by blending probably with other ciders. A very good basic cider style. I think it's definitely worth seeking out, and of course I'll be writing this up later on, and I will have been tasting the rosé and the red, and right, I said rosé and the gold, and we'll describe those in the same article in the Beeronaut column eventually, and that's where you'll be seeing me, Mark, also the guy behind the One Take Beer Review, saying salute.
Now don't be afraid of it, drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer. Up with the sail of it, down with the feel of it. Glorious, glorious beer.